Tengo una situación familiar que no sé que deberías hacer. AyÃúdenme, por favor. Soy nueva aquí y no sé cómo debería prestar en esta aplicación. Pero me encuentro ante una situación que no sé cómo manejar y agradecería su ayuda. Por favor, ignoren algún error en mi escritura. No me siento bien en este momento. Soy la hermana mayor y vivo con mis dos padres y un hermano menor. La situación complicada involucra a mis padres, quienes, según su relato y lo poco que recuerdo, han tenido problemas desde que nos mudamos de ciudad. Comenzaron un trabajo juntos hace años que requiere mucho esfuerzo. Sin embargo, mi madre dejó de asistir y solo ayuda desde casa por mi hermano y por mí. Recuerdo que me dijeron que esa decisión era temporal. Entonces, en lugar de mi madre, comenzó a participar una tía que es hermana de mi padre. Tratar de no extender demasiado la historia, pero empezaron a surgir problemas porque mi madre comenzó a sentir que mi padre la ignoraba en el trabajo. Discusión. Si reconciliaban y esto se convirtió en un ciclo en el que también salí afectada. Ya que, al ser la mayor, en ese momento apenas iniciando la adolescencia, me incluían en sus disputas. Mi padre se quejaba y hablaba mal de mi madre, y ella hizo lo mismo. Fui utilizada para resolver algunas de sus disputas, así como algunos familiares paternos que intentaron ayudar. Fui testigo de momentos en los que sus discusiones se volvieron físicas. No hablar de cómo este ciclo de confrontaciones afectó mi desarrollo porque el tema principal es el problema entre mis padres, para el cual ya no sé qué más hacer. Sin embargo, dire que a lo largo de los años mi memoria sobre este tema se ha deteriorado. Mis padres se separaron y volvieron, y a medida que fui creciendo, escuchando sus relatos individualmente y conociéndolos, intent que dejaron de incluirme en sus problemas. Además del daño emocional, sentía que había incongruencias en sus historias. Algunos de esos problemas incluyeron mi madre acusando a mi tía de intentar hacer daño con un embrullo y diciendo que ya lo había hecho anteriormente con su hija. Mi madre enemistándose con algunos familiares que, según ella, la trataron mal. Mi padre aparentando haber sido infiel. Cuando mi madre presentó una denuncia contra mi padre por omisión de alimentos al irse de casa lo que no recua. Que she nos pravia. Mi padre nombrando a mi tía como propietaria del negocio para no verse perjudicado en la demanda o algo similar. Mi padre creyendo que el comportamiento de mi madre se debe a la mala influencia de su familia. A mi madre no le gusta que otros familiares de mi padre también estén involucrados en el trabajo. Y ella siente que mi padre se preocupa más por su familia que por la que formó con ella, entre otros problemas que ahora no vienen a mi mente. Mi hermano fue creciendo y también comenzó a ser incluido. Me involucrar hablándoles a mis padres para que no incluyeran a mi hermano en sus problemas, ya que él iba a entrar en la adolescencia, una etapa muy difícil, hablaba desde mi experiencia. No quería que mi hermano pasara por lo mismo que yo y que sufriera el mismo daño del que aún estoy tratando de recuperarme. Mi madre dejó de incluirlo, pero mi padre no. Comencé a ver que mi hermano desarrollaba la misma situación y los mismos pensamientos que yo había experimentado por los problemas de mi padre. Advertí nuevamente a mi padre, pero continuó hasta que, un día, escuché a mi hermano llorar y desafié a mi padre por seguir involucrando a mi hermano en sus problemas. Él dejó de hacerlo, al menos hasta donde sí. Pero me duele que no pude evitar que mi hermano pasara por esta mala experiencia. En la actualidad, Soy una adulta en mis veintes y vioque mis padres son iguales. A pesar de los años, siguen sin saber resolver adecuadamente sus problemas, actuando de manera impulsiva y inmadura. Puedo entender que sus dificultades también se deben a no haber tenido un ejemplo de relación sana en sus propios padres. Aun así, son adultos con conciencia. Cabe mencionar que mis padres no son conscientes del daño que su situación me ha causado por mi hijo, y no los considero figuras de confianza para compartir mis problemas más importantes y mis sentimientos. El problema actual se debe a un objeto en casa que no se ha estado utilizando. Y un familiar con quien mi madre no se leva bien le pregunto a mi padre si estaba en uso. Mi padre pensó en venderlo, dado que no se usaba y, con el tiempo, podría dañarse por es plástico. Mi padre le informó a mi madre sobre esto. Y ella se molestó y no estuvo de acuerdo en venderlo. Y que considera que en cualquier momento podrían necesitarlo. A mi padre no le agradó esto porque mi madre insinuó que le estaba dando otra vez algo a su familia. Mientras tanto, mi padre cree que está bien hacerlo porque necesitan el objeto y no se está usando. Lo que levo a que did. Al mismo tiempo, por la misma cuestión surgirán otros problemas. Sin embargo, para no alargar la historia, mi madre viajó y mi padre, con la ayuda de un familiar con quien también tiene problemas, venderán el objeto. Mi madre via esto a través de las cámaras y cuido mi molesta, por lo que confronto a mi padre y mi lamo para quejarse. Ahora no sé qué hacer. Tanto mi hermano, como yo estamos de acuerdo en que el objeto podía venderse, y que no se estaba utilizando. Sin embargo, no creo que mi padre debió haberlo vendido sin el consentimiento de mi madre. Creo que en decisiones como estas, siendo algo que pertenece al hogar, deberían discutirse en perja y tener en cuenta las opiniones de ambas partes. En este caso, uno no estaba de acuerdo, lo que creo que significa que no debía venderse. Venderlo sin el acuerdo de ambos es como faltar al respeto a mi madre y no valorar su opinión. En este contexto, y considerando que su aniversario, al parecer, no se celebrará debido a sus problemas, nuevamente parece haber una separación. Pero aclaro que, al igual que en sus problemas anteriores, en este tampoco me he involucrado porque creo que, si tienen un conflicto de perja, deben resolverlo como perja. Sin embargo, yo no sé si realmente debería hacer algo. Me molesta cada vez que tienen un problema porque el ciclo parece no terminar, y no puedo concentrarme en nada. Me gustaría saber qué piensan ustedes sobre esto, y si debería actuar de alguna manera al respecto. Por favor, sean amables. No los considero malas personas, solo una mala perja y padres con algunos errores en su crianza. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for being mad that my girlfriend admitted to lying to me? This is my first substantial post, so I would appreciate your feedback on whether I am managing all right. My girlfriend, 29 years old, let's refer to her as C, recently had a conversation with me regarding our relationship, which left me feeling bewildered. As the day has progressed, I think I may be feeling upset. I am unsure about my emotions at this point. There is a considerable amount of context here, and I assure you it is relevant. I am a 27-year-old black man serving in the military. I stand 5 feet 10 inches tall, weigh roughly 180 pounds, and have a medium build. I am often rated as decent-looking, with many people giving me a score of 7 or 8 out of 10. My annual income is about $95,000. I am originally from Mississippi, but due to the influence of various accents, many people are surprised by my lack of a strong accent, although my values remain deeply rooted in Southern tradition. She earns approximately $60,000, which may be significant later on. We have been in a long-distance relationship for about 1 year, and I have experienced a number of ups and downs during this time. I genuinely believe she is one of the kindest, most warm-hearted, and endearing in an affectionate way people I know. She is incredibly beautiful and usually tries to understand my viewpoint, or at least I thought so. With my commitments to school, I am a part-time student, taking between 9 and 12 hours per semester. Work, family, and my relationship with her, I maintain a busy schedule. Thus, we find ways to connect whenever possible. She is also pursuing her doctorate and earning her real estate license, alongside her job, which limits our communication mainly to phone calls while she is driving or in the morning and evening. Unfortunately, we do not converse much during the day since I typically do not have access to my phone at work. Our relationship began like many others, marked by excitement, a disregard for evident red flags, and physical intimacy being relatively easy despite the distance. She receives at least one text from me each day between our phone calls, which take me about 25 minutes to write, occasional deliveries of flowers, 2 to 3 arrangements per quarter, and I frequently check in on how we are doing as a couple. I was mostly content until I began noticing significant communication breakdowns. Both of us recognized communication as a weak point and began attempting to address it in our respective ways. I perceive, though these are not her exact words, that she started sharing her thoughts with me more often because she felt unheard. I made an effort to verbalize that I was listening more, attempting to summarize her points and confirming if I understood correctly. I initially thought this was leading to improvement. What I failed to realize was that I felt unheard myself. It appeared she was becoming more content while my feelings were not getting better. After some time, I noticed several concerning patterns. 1. When I would ask her questions, her opinions would change drastically after a week or two. 2. I would share something deeply personal, and it became clear that she was not paying attention, yet she would insist otherwise. 3. She would seek my advice or assistance, and I would offer her as much insight as possible. She always expressed gratitude, claiming my suggestions were excellent and that she intended to follow through. I never pressured her to implement my advice. I simply aimed to provide what she specifically requested. I also reassured her that it was perfectly acceptable to keep her decision-making private, as it was her choice. After observing these patterns, I would often ask her if that was truly what we had discussed, feeling uneasy that she frequently contradicted herself. While it is natural not to agree or to change one's mind, this happened frequently enough that I started taking notes on what I had said, or what she had spontaneously agreed to in order to determine whether there was an issue with my memory. Quite rapidly, within 3 months, C expressed a desire for couples therapy or individual therapy for me. I'm not unfamiliar with counseling, so I took on the costs for couples therapy. C has been in therapy for several years. The couples therapist, I genuinely felt she had an interest in me, spent all our sessions labeling me as an angry, controlling individual with trust issues, and rated my issues as being significant. This was news to me, prompting me to seek a private counselor for myself. I engage in therapy until I believe I have effectively addressed my challenges. My therapist noted that I have low expectations of others and assessed my emotional maturity to be on par with that of a 38 to 40-year-old man. After 7 months, he confirmed that I was progressing positively. By the way, the couples therapist consistently mispronounced Situaciãº name. After witnessing my emotional distress following each therapy session, C requested that we discontinue couples therapy, which we did, yet the issues continued. To get to the heart of the matter, one of our disputes revolved around the topic of cohabitation. She expressed a desire to move in with me. I agreed, but I stressed that we were not married, and I wanted to avoid either of us feeling confined or dismissed in any way. Concerning financial matters, I proposed that we establish a joint account in which I would contribute $2,000, and she would add $1,000 to cover all our expenses. Any surplus could be allocated for our outings or trips. Our rent and bills amount to approximately $2,600. She agreed to this arrangement, but over the course of a month, her feelings about it shifted weekly. I refrained from initiating discussions since we had reached an agreement, and I thought the matter was resolved. After roughly 2 to 3 months, she called me in a distressed state, stating that her father had been a provider and that she wouldn't be comfortable moving in with me unless we divided expenses 70-30. Upset, I inquired who had influenced her to speak to me in that way regarding the unequal financial split. She insisted that she hadn't spoken to anyone and claimed that, much like before therapy, I was not trusting her. Following these conversations and conflicts, where I felt as though I was questioning reality despite jotting down details, she consistently lavishes compliments upon me. She endearingly labels me super gross and frequently expresses her love for me, highlighting my handsomeness and amazing qualities. A persistent theme has emerged. I have no clear understanding of her stance on various matters. When I seek clarification or ask if she truly agrees with me, she becomes angry. When I communicate that I am merely trying to comprehend, she indicates that she is more concerned about my doubts about her than the turmoil it causes, at least for me. I have ceased to care about many matters unless they are particularly significant. I feel as though she lies to me continually and choose to overlook it unless it would directly result in stress. Yesterday, during a serious discussion, she told me that she believed I was stressed out 80 of the time. After accepting that statement with indifference, she finally confessed that she had been dishonest about the origins of her changing opinions, revealing that she frequently consults others. She acknowledged that she does not agree with my views and lies about it, allowing her time to discuss things with other people. This lengthy message serves as an account of how, after 1 year, my girlfriend admitted she lies about agreeing with me on many matters and claims to listen to me. Each time I broached the subject or sought clarity through more questions, it would escalate into an argument. I engaged in therapy with her, faced criticism, and was labeled as an angry man with trust issues, all while she was aware of her dishonesty in most of those instances where I sought confirmation. I am upset because she has observed my stress levels and my efforts to understand our relationship by reading books and seeking advice from married couples, all while she is the primary source of my doubts. She has consistently told me that I am an excellent listener. She has mentioned that I am very warm. She has stated that I am incredibly understanding. I no longer believe her, which is frustrating, as I held those beliefs about myself long before we met. What course of action should I take? How do I move past these feelings? I love her, but I find myself feeling disoriented. I apologize for the lengthy message. I am just feeling rather scattered. Story 3. Am I overreacting? My girlfriend, 26, lied to me, 24, about something kind of important. This all began when my girlfriend recounted her past during the initial stages of our dating. She shared that there was a time when she considered becoming a mistress to a man she met at her job. Initially, she was unaware that he was married, but upon discovering this, they began to flirt through messages and discussed meeting up. Ultimately, they never connected in person because my girlfriend felt guilty and informed his wife. After hearing this story, I remarked that it was quite surprising. She noticed I seemed a bit uneasy and gently inquired if they still kept in touch. I learned that they had not communicated since that time, and I responded that it was fine as long as they were no longer in contact. It would make me uncomfortable otherwise. She agreed and mentioned she would feel the same if I behaved similarly. I had a lingering feeling that there was more to her story, as it seemed a bit hurried. Sometime later, I brought up the situation again. It didn't particularly concern me since it occurred before we were together, but my curiosity prompted me to ask. She repeated the story, but revealed that they were neighbors, a detail she had omitted initially out of concern that it would upset me. I reassured her that it was not a significant issue, as long as there had been no contact since we began dating, even if it was purely through texting. She promised that she had respected the wife. I then asked if there was anything else she needed to disclose. She assured me there was not. Eventually, she confessed something. At the outset of our relationship, we both committed to not maintaining contact with anyone from our pasts, particularly if it involved anything beyond friendship, ensuring our exclusivity. This was her suggestion, which I concurred with, as I wouldn't appreciate her communicating with someone with whom she once had romantic feelings, nor would she want that for me. She revealed that this man owned a landscaping business and did yard work for the neighborhood. However, she confessed that she had broken this trust by reaching out to him for assistance with her yard work. She clarified that she had not contacted him directly. Instead, she enlisted the help of a mutual friend to reach out on her behalf. Naturally, I was quite upset and saddened, yet she insisted that she had not initiated contact with him. We discussed it further, and I inquired if there was anything else she needed to reveal. She reassured me that she had nothing more to share. I even told her that, even if they had exchanged texts and it was strictly business, I wouldn't be upset as long as she was honest with me. She guaranteed that was the entirety of it, and that we both would not lie to each other moving forward, regardless of the significance of the matter. We made a pact to review each other's phones if either of us felt suspicious, so I asked her to let me see her phone. She declined, which hurt me. Eventually, after a couple of days, she allowed me to access it. I inquired whether she deleted anything she didn't want me to find, and she only mentioned old conversations with exes from the past that I didn't want you to see. For several months, I remained suspicious. I pressed her to be truthful about the situation, asserting that if they had talked, it was acceptable as long as she was transparent. She consistently denied any communication. It escalated to the point where I was bringing it up almost daily, which I disliked, but I couldn't shake this feeling that something was amiss. I finally stopped mentioning it after we had one last argument over it. She confessed that she genuinely wanted to forget about him and regretted ever disclosing his existence to me. She was in tears, feeling as though I was holding the situation against her, while I felt distressed because I couldn't rid myself of this nagging feeling. Our relationship was deteriorating, and I felt like I was the one sabotaging it. A couple of months later, I sensed that I could begin to move on from everything. I felt optimistic, and our relationship was thriving. However, one day I became somewhat suspicious again. I looked through her phone for messages, but found nothing. What I did discover were 2 screenshots in her camera roll of their conversation. The messages were casual and seemed innocent, but one screenshot was of her asking him to do her yard work. My heart sank. I felt nauseated. I was sickened by the fact that she lied, by the realization that she seemed annoyed when I brought it up, and I felt foolish for even considering that they had communicated. I regretted seeing that and wished I could erase it from my memory. I speculated that she took those screenshots to protect herself in case his wife became suspicious again. When I confronted her about it, she didn't deny it. She stated plainly, "Yes, I did," on the night I requested to see her phone. The reason she wouldn't allow me to view it was that the texts were still saved. She explained that although their interaction was strictly professional, she didn't want me to see it for fear that I would be hurt and leave her. We had both agreed that individuals from our pasts with whom we shared more than friendship should be out of our lives. Yet she maintained contact with him. I asked her why she justified it. She replied that she felt nothing for him, literally zero emotions, so she didn't perceive it as a significant threat. However, she claimed that he did not appear to have moved on because he still looked at her oddly. She expressed regret over deleting the messages and wished she hadn't so I could see the entire conversation, even attempting to recover them for me. I do believe her when she insists it was solely business. However, it remains suspicious that she deleted everything, and a small part of me, perhaps 5%, wonders if something more occurred. I don't want to entertain that thought, as I feel mentally drained, but it lingers. I feel profoundly hurt and foolish for my thoughts over the past months. I told her I needed some space before we could discuss this further and that I required time alone. So she did lie about this. She did text him from her phone should I end the relationship over this. The continual dishonesty has taken a significant toll on me. I had enough nightmares about this situation before, and now that my gut feeling has proven correct, I am unsure how to feel.